Well, it's Saturday, December 23rd. Got my big energy coffee going. I'm sitting outside coastside number 2 because I got to pick up a few fishing gear items. What I'm going to do today, because the conditions are so good and it is December and the perch bite is on, is I'm going to show you that it's not just one special spot or one type of setup that's going to catch you the surf perch. We're going to try SP minnows, we're going to try gulp worms, and after we go to coastside and pick up some gear here, we're going down to Sharp Park Beach to get some sand crabs. And so we'll use 3 different methods. We will drive from Pacifica all the way down to Pescadero, and we will stop at different sandy beaches along the way, take one pole, spend 30 minutes at each stop, and see what we catch. And that way you can see that there's a lot of places out there when the time is right and the conditions are right to catch surf perch. So let's go get them. This is what the ocean looks like today from Pacifica Pier. You can see very, very gentle. It's supposed to pick up by Monday again into some big waves, but very gentle, no wind. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. So we're gonna go right over here and catch some sand crabs and then start heading down the coast. Okay, I just spent about an hour and a half at Sharp Park Beach farting around with the SP minnow, and no luck there. I was looking up at the guys that were close in doing the surf perch fishing on the pier. They weren't catching anything, so we're gonna head down south. I don't know if I'm gonna stop at every beach like I said I was. I mean, I just pulled by Lindemar Beach and a ton of surfers out in the water, so I don't want to go fishing out there. I don't know, maybe I'll give it a shot at Martin's Beach. If not, maybe Pescadero. We'll see. We'll see where the fish gods take us today. Anyways, yes, I was throwing that SP minnow for about an hour, hour and a half, I'm not sure. Right now it's about 12:30 in the afternoon already. And perhaps those work a little bit better on a more shallow beach, or maybe a beach where there's more fish, because again, like I said, the guys close in on the pier, they weren't pulling up anything either. So they're talking about how the high tide's coming at 2 o'clock. Well, if I eat lunch now down at Pillar Point Harbor, I'm going to show you a hot spot to eat too. Great calamari and fried fish. I think I'm going to have the calamari today. It's called Barbara's Fish Trap. So if I eat lunch, and then I start heading south, I should be to Pescadero about the time of the high tide, and I'll have a couple of hours of sunlight left and should be able to pull up something, especially the way the surf is looking today. At the very bottom of the Half Moon Bay Airport, there's a little turnoff that says Princeton. It's the road you should take to get to the parking lot that leads out to the north wall of Pillar Point Harbor if you want to fish out there. It's not a very big parking lot. It's very small. Also, if you're headed out to Mavericks, this is the road you would take. There's a lot of little restaurants here, Pillar Point Harbor. If you cut off from the main road, which is over to our left now, you take Capistrano Road and you get to the same spot. Just you do a little bit of backtracking by coming down to Capistrano. So this way is like the back way in. And when I go to Barbara's Fish Trap, I always find myself a nice parking spot right here. So we don't have to worry about that parking lot up there that's always packed full of people and whatnot. And let's head over to Barbara's. Get ourselves some fish. There's Pillar Point Harbor. Right over here where all the boats are, if you want to buy yourself some fresh Dungeness crab caught by the boat fishermen, all you got to do is go over there and look for the signs. You'll see the guys standing out on their boats selling crabs. You can't get them much fresher than that. And there's Barbara's Fish Trap. And you can go inside the restaurant there. It's a real nice restaurant. But also, if you come right around the corner over here, there's a snack bar. And you can pick up some food here and eat right outside. And this is what the spread looks like from Barbara's Fish Shack. I spent about $16 or $17, something like that. That was a good fish meal. I think they even threw me in an extra piece of fish. They see me so much. That was nice. Well, we might end up in Pescadero. I'm never really sure about where I'm going to end up when I go fishing. But I decided we're going to swing by Martin's Beach, because I still want to try some surf perch fishing at a prime time on that beach, right in front of where all the houses are. I guess you would call it the south side or the middle south side of Martin's Beach. Well, you'll see when we get there. But I've heard that there's some fish down at that beach. Sharks like to hang out there and feed and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we'll give it a shot. We'll see. We'll see if it's really crowded today, or if we can find some parking up front. That would be great. There was a sheriff right after I passed Cowell's Beach. There was a sheriff sitting on the side of the road, probably checking for speeders. And there we go. There's our parking lot. That parking lot there, the free one, is completely empty. But we're going to go down the road here and check out the $10 parking lot. I think I like to be a little bit closer to my rig here. Okay, pulling up to the entrance. Looks like our same parking attendant is here. That's good news. And there's only one car in the parking lot. Hey, how you doing today? Hey, good. Good. Okay, $10, right?
Okay. Oh, what are you gonna do? Like fishing?
What's that? Yeah, I'm gonna do fishing.
Oh, okay, good.
Right.
I couldn't remember. You came back, right?
Yeah. Okay. I was here when it was really windy and there's nobody here.
Right. And you went.
Yeah, and not today. It's not windy and there's still nobody here.
I know. And it's so calm and nice. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah, and the high tide's coming in. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
And I get tickets.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye bye. That's probably better there, huh? Closer to you. You're here watching it. Yeah, it's something new. I'm gonna park it over there. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Is it almost always like this here?
Huh?
Is it always like this here?
No.
I can't believe it.
Maybe because today's kind of.
Oh, Christmas.
Right.
They're all shopping right now.
They're shopping. Not fishing.
Yeah. that good? Or further back?
Go a little bit.
More.
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Enjoy.
thank you. Yeah, I will. Nice beach.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's all yours.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Okay, so that was very nice. The parking attendant there, she also gave me, she makes these little trinkets. That's supposed to be a starfish here. But she gave me 2 of those. I put one in my automobile for good luck. Hung it from the rear view mirror. And I'm carrying one on my person for good luck. So this is what it looks like when the wind's not blowing 100 miles an hour. Well, that's a little exaggeration, but it was blowing pretty rough enough to keep everybody away last week. But I don't understand why there's nobody here this week. This is beautiful. That's where all the houses are. Yeah, see right there, it's like private property, permit, parking only, because that's where people live and stuff. So, but this is the beach here that's open to the public, and that's the road that we accessed it by right there. Very nice. And this is the south side of the beach. I kind of wish there was a little more wave action than that, but let's give it a shot. I think we're going with sand crabs. I've shown you enough catching surf perch on gulp worms. Let's do some sand crab fishing now. Okay, so watch as this white water recedes back there into the surf. That little bit of activity right there is enough to generate some surf perch grubbing on sand crab type activity. So let's give it a shot. I'm only going to throw it about 10 feet out. And if we don't catch it here, down there it seems to be a little bit stronger because you're more in a position over that way to receive the northwest swell. Whereas this part here is kind of just catching the west and the southwest swell. And as you can see, the rocks here provide a nice little workstation. Got my sand spike over there. We've got 1 pole, 2 reels, 1 pole. Okay, so here's some of the hooks that I keep in my fishing vest. These are Poochie number 2. They're bait holders. I'll probably start with these ones here. Here's a 2/0 hook, bait holder. Nice hook. 1/0, not a bait holder. And it's got that U shape on it. That works really good for all kinds of perch, big or smallmouth, it doesn't really matter. You get down this way, I mean, you could catch, you saw that little minnow I caught last week on, I think it was this size 2 hook over here. But if you're going for rockfish, you probably want to use these here. We might try some of that later. I don't know. I think we're probably just going to perch it out today, unless they just don't hit here today. But we'll see what we got today. We're using this. I was talking to Mark at Coastside, and he said they call these things spreaders. However, there are other things called spreaders that kind of go like that, and you know, they look more like spreaders. I just call them a 2-hook leader. But you know, in order to order this stuff, Mark was saying that you got to use whatever terminology they use, and they call them spreaders. So, but he's going to be getting more of these ones with monofilament in between the hook holders, like that. And he's got a big shipment coming. So, as an alternative to using a coin weight in an area where there's rocks like there is here, you hook the weight this way. You can't really do that if the waves are of any size at all, but these waves are, yeah, that's what these waves are looking like today. Hardly anything at all. So if you got waves moving and you hook up your weight this way, it's going to start tumbling this way, and your line won't stay in one place. If you got a totally sandy bottom, you want to take and you want to hook it up this way, because then it anchors itself in the sand, and that's the correct way to use a pyramid weight in a totally sandy bottom situation. But when you have rocks, if you're pulling this across the sand and it hits a rock or something, it's more likely to slide over it like this than if you were pulling it this way. Boom, it gets caught, you get snagged, you have to work out the snag, all that kind of stuff. I still have this 8-pound line right here on the bottom, just in case. I'd rather just lose this weight than lose this leader and these hooks here. And then we'll put a couple of these sand crabs on here. Good old semi-soft sand crabs. I don't think I found one today with eggs, so it must just be that time of year for these guys. So what you do is, they like biting right here first, right in there. That's usually where they bite first, or you know, there's something about this portion right there that they like. It's more tender or whatever. So we will put the hook right there where they're gonna bite, so that hopefully we catch them. Okay, here's another one. This one is almost completely a soft shell. You can see how translucent it is. Not completely, but it's a semi-soft, as I call them. Let's throw it out there in water and see if we can get something. We're not going to go very far. Just past where the sand crabs are getting stirred up, which is right here where the white water is. So we're going right out to that trench. Right there. And that should be a good spot for us. See what we can do. Yeah, we got something here. Feels a little stronger than the minnow we caught last week. Wow, that's a beautiful fish. Looks like a nice calico right there. Yeah, let's check it out. Yep, that's a calico, all right. That's a keeper. That was about my 3rd or 4th cast. I started right there, and then I went 10 feet down every time until I finally got that hit on this calico. Nice. Beautiful. Probably about 10 inches or so. I guess you could pull out the tape, take a look. Somewhere around 11 inches. Yeah, I'm out. But this is the hook that caught the fish. Now remember what I was saying about them eating the top part of the sand crab? As you can see, somebody bit on that one right there. Just missed the top of the hook, but they like going at it from the bottom, and they like the I don't know if you call this the top side or the bottom side, whatever it is. This side's a little bit harder because the shell kind of starts getting hard right here. They like that soft stuff, and they like those legs. So let's rebait this and see if we can get another nice little calico or something. There. Look at that sand crab, that hit I just had. Boom, right there. Yeah, it probably wasn't that big of a fish. Probably still use the sand crab, just move it up a little, but they do like that top part of the sand crab. So we'll go like that and see. The other one still hasn't been hit yet, so getting some action here. I've only been here about 10 minutes at Martin's Beach, and already getting action. And I believe there's something on there. It doesn't feel like much. Tighten the drag up a little. I'll just leave the drag out at first, give them a chance to get hooked to the bait. Starting to feel a little heavier now, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah. It's got a little size to it. It's definitely not a minnow. Wow, another calico. So maybe I hit a whole school of calicos here. Got lucky. Wow, you see that? Calicos have kind of a gentle way of biting on the... They're kind of gentle. Yeah, I mean, look how gentle this guy is. He isn't flipping around, you know, that type of thing. That's their nature. Very gentle fish. Very good tasting, too. All right, this looks like the first cousin of the guy we just caught. Just about the same size. Somewhere in the 10-inch range anyways, maybe bigger. Yeah, because, anyways, throw it in the bucket. Some action again. You can see the pole, top of the pole there. Yeah, it's kind of, might already have the fish on there. Maybe not. If I do have a fish on there, it's a real small one. But anyways, this video today should kind of show you that in 1 week how much things can change on a beach. We were here, we were here last Saturday, and you saw all I pulled out was that little minnow. I only had like about an hour and a half or something like that. Didn't have much time. It wasn't the high tide like it is now. This is the high tide, so I'm sure there's people hitting from Santa Cruz all the way to Humboldt on this high tide. But looks like something stole the bait there and might have had a little nibble right here. Someone pulled off a leg or something. Must have been a real small one. We'll rebait this and throw it back out there. So even when I'm fishing with sand crabs, movement of your line helps. I seem to think that, or maybe people they just don't want to mess around with it. They want to wait till they get a fish on there. You know, I don't want to judge anyone else's fishing style, but it seems like most people just kind of leave it there. But I find that even with the sand crab, a lot of times I'll put the sand crab out there and I'll just move it once like that. 5 seconds later, that's usually when I get the strike. And on this one here, I've been getting some real little strikes. But the thing is, a fish, they move around a lot. They don't just stay in one place. They're never in any big hurry. They're just kind of lollygagging, going around. Unless something scares them and puts fear in them, then they take off like a rocket. Like when you catch one and, you know, it feels the hook in its mouth and it's in pain. Yeah, it's scared. And that's why it starts pulling real hard. But usually it's kind of moving around nice and slow, looking for something to come along to eat. Really a neat way to live. Well, that's why also you can catch fish on probably any beach in San Mateo County when the conditions are good. You don't have to be at any particular spot. You know, you just have to be there on the right day, the right conditions. Try to hit it on a high tide if you're trying for these surf perch. And these surf perch should be hitting all the way through the end of January. Then it kind of bumps off early in February. It just kind of dies off, and then you got to try for rockfish or something else. A lot of guys just do Dungeness all the way through the until the spring. That's when the stripers start hitting again. Sometimes they come by and they ask me, how do you know if you got a fish on there? Well, you'll know. You definitely will. They say, how do you know it's not the waves? Well, if the waves are that rugged and you can't tell, then maybe, you know, maybe you need to fish somewhere else. But, yeah, there we go. Calico. Their bodies always look pretty much like that. The red tails are much more red, but, you know, the redness in the red tails is dependent on physiological factors, and sometimes they're not as red. So your best bet is to look right here and look for those 3 or 4 dorsal fins up near the front. They go way up like that, and the red tail tend to be a little more square from the top of the dorsal fin right down to the mouth there. And of course, yeah, more red than these, but these guys get red too sometimes as well. So that's why you need to look at all the factors before you determine that you've got a keeper. Oh yeah, 10 inches easy. Calico, that's a keeper. And into the bucket. Okay, wow, this one's big. Whatever this is, yeah. I'm gonna let him, not gonna pull in too much drag yet. Now he's coming with the wave. Something rather large. Oh, that's because there's 2 of them. Oh my goodness. Wow, I'm in calico heaven. Will you look at this? 2 more calicos. That puts the total already at 5 calicos. I'm halfway to the limit. 15 minutes into my fishing trip here at Martin's Beach, and 5 calicos. This one up here is about 9 inches. I'm gonna keep them both, I think. Here we actually found a sand crab with some eggs. Not a whole lot. I don't quite get why this time of year when they do have eggs, they don't look quite as orange and healthy as they do, nor are they as, do you have as many eggs as you do during the late spring, early summer. But anyways, you see how I hooked it? They're gonna go for that egg right there. See if we can find calico number 6. That's a fish. Could be 2 again, or a really big one. Wow. But be careful you don't rip that hook right out of their mouth. You know, nice and gently. But keep your line tight, as they say. 2 more. Wow. Look at that. I can never remember catching this many calicos. Let me think if I've ever done this. No, I've never. Now I'm up to 7, and I have a feeling that since I've only been here for 30 minutes, that I'm gonna hit the limit. These guys are all about the same size, 9 and 10 inches. This one is, this one looks like a little over 10 inches. Another nice one. And this one is bigger. This one might be somewhere in the neighborhoods of 11 inches. Definitely thicker anyways, and heavier. I can feel the weight of this guy. Just a little over 10 inches. Definitely got more thickness than the other one. They come in all different sizes, these guys. A lot of similarities, and each one its own individual characteristics. Okay, I do believe I've got 1 or maybe 2 now. Yeah, something bigger definitely jumped on there. Or maybe just started pulling a little harder. It's not really that big. Let's see what this is. Another calico. Another calico. Yeah. This one also very small, so we're gonna let this puppy live. I think this time we'll throw him a little further though, make sure he's a little bit deeper in the water so that he doesn't hit one of his fins or something like that and break it. You know, if I had my waders on, I could go out there and gently release it, but I don't think tossing him hurts him that much, but what do I know? There we go. At least he's got a chance. Doesn't have a chance if I take him towards the bucket. He should be all right. Definitely got something here. Probably another calico. I think there's a whole group just sitting out there. It's unbelievable. It's another small one. Since we're so close to the limit now, I might as well wait. Unless he's injured through the eye. If you injure him through the eye, it's not too cool, you know. But this is a little guy. I mean, look at this guy. What is he, like 8 inches maybe? So, yeah, this guy's like maybe 8 inches or whatever. So, this is one way to do it. And the other way is to use this thing here. A lot of fishermen, I see them grabbing them by the bottom of the mouth, doing this dealio like that. I don't know that that doesn't hurt them. But there's a way to get them to stay still. I think that's why most people grab them there. If you don't want to hurt them and you're doing catch and release, I just grab them here like that. This guy's really nervous, so I gotta be gentle with him. So I want him to go back. You can tell if they're really freaked out, stuff is gonna start coming out down here. This guy isn't that freaked out. It's a very calm species, the calico. Very gentle fish. So this guy gets to live to see, well, to feed on another sand crab, I hope. Here you go, buddy. It's a big one, or we got 2 on there again. Let's get that camera pointed the right way. Wow. Yikes. What is that? 2 big ones. Okay. Look at that. That is insane. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. And you see why now it was a good idea to let those 2 little ones go. Because these 2 here look like they're in the 12-inch range. Let's go measure them. Check them out. Well, somewhere in the neighborhoods of 11 and a half, close to 12 inches. And that's what I thought when I pulled them out. And I think this one here is his identical twin brother. Yeah, oh, this one's definitely 12. Look at that. Yeah, 2 12-inchers. Now we put these in the bucket. That brings our total up to 9 calicos. So we can only catch 1 more. So we better make sure it's a nice one. All right, there you go. There's the action on the end of the pole. And there's the drag going out. So let's pull this puppy in and see what we got. Feels like another calico. I mean, after you pull up, what I pull up so far, 9 plus the 2 I threw back, so that's 11 calico. I mean, they all seem to fight the same way. That's a little guy. And you saw what happened last time. We sent 2 of these little guys back and 2 of his bigger brothers showed up. So we're gonna send this one back since we could only keep 1 more. And this guy's in good shape. I mean, if I injure the next one, hook in the eye, that's not pretty. Hook in the eye or something, I'll just keep that one and call it my last. But otherwise, I'm gonna try for a whopper. Here we go, right into the wave. There's There's the fight, and let's see what we got here. Again, probably another calico. It's a big clan of calico out there today. Well, I got two of them. One of them definitely has to go back, and it looks like the one on the lower hook is bigger. So, unfortunately, the bigger guys are usually guys you put, the little guys are the ones you usually put back. Unfortunately for the bigger guys. These hooks are just about right for these calicos, these size 2 Poochie hooks. You can see it's working out just perfectly. Just got lucky I picked the right hook size today. This guy here, probably about 9 inches or so, something like that, is going to get to live. So let's try to be nice and gentle. When they get nervous, you can kind of feel it running up and down their spine, you know. This guy, if you hold them in the right way, they're just like any other animal. Hold them in the right way, they will feel a little more comfortable. Let me see, where this hook go? So this hook kind of went under something there. So we got to kind of work its way out of that area and then pull it up. Ran into another first person I ran into down here today at Martin's Beach, and he was just taking a look at the fish that I caught there, the 10 calico.
Those are some nice fish. They're big.
Yeah, I got really lucky today. So far, the sun's, I can still catch more perch. I just can't take any more calico. That's 10 calico, and I threw...
Rubber lips, right? Are there, rainbow perch?
I haven't seen a rubber lip, and the small one I caught last week, it was like about that big, I believe it was a barred surf perch. So we'll see. But I think there's just like a big school of calico right here, right now. You know, I can throw in...
For the other ones.
Yeah, I can throw back in there and catch another one, but since I'm at my limit and I catch them to eat, I figure I'll move down this way. Maybe I'll run to a school or something else. Anyways, this guy that was nice enough to give us this interview here for our YouTube channel.
Oh, which one is this?
It's called Pacifica Fisherman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I got 15 videos up now.
I'll check it out.
Almost. Right. Okay. Well, thanks for the interview.
No problem.
Okay. All right. See you later.
Pier fishing.
Pier fishing, I was at the pier this morning. That's where I got my sand crabs. I like catching my sand crabs on a steep beach.
Okay.
And Sharp Park's real steep. You catch the sand crabs real quickly. And I was down there, but they weren't catching nothing. And I was throwing an SB minnow lure for like about an hour and a half down there. Nothing. Here, it's been less than an hour, and I got the limit here. So they just, every time I throw it in, boom, 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 boom. So. Yeah, well, as far as like, a lot of people blog, ask questions, or they make comments, that kind of thing. I'm on both Facebook and YouTube as Pacifica Fisherman.
I'm gonna check it out.
And also I've joined the groups More Than Fishing.
Okay.
And then there's another one called Fisherman's Life. And I'm a member of both of those groups. Yeah.
I haven't been on those. I'll check it out.
All right. Okay.
Let's get back to fishing. Those are nice.
All right. See you later. Okay. Bye-bye. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move down to the south side of Martin's Beach down there, just because this is all calico. There's nothing right now but calico. So we're gonna go down there, and you see down that way about 150 yards, there's a big swell that's starting further back. Then it breaks, and then it just kind of rolls all the way in for about 75 yards. And what that tells you is that first 75 yards is nothing but the very shallow water. So if I had waders, I could walk out on that shallow water, throw it out in the trench out there, but I didn't bring my waders. They're up there in the parking lot. So I'm just gonna go do, I like staying out of the waders, especially, believe it or not, I don't know how hot it's in San Francisco today. I think the forecast was for 45-degree weather or something like that. I was in San Francisco yesterday, and it was very cold for San Francisco anyways. But out here, I got so hot I removed my jacket. All I've got on now is a couple of t-shirts, and I feel kind of hot. So that's kind of hard to believe on a cold day like today. But so we're gonna move down that way, and we'll look for a trench that's up close, and hopefully a different school of surf perch or something else. Who knows? You never know what's running around out there. I mean, sometimes off the surf you catch cabezon. Same hookup I got right here. Cabezon come up. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of different fish that like feeding on these sand crabs, and when they're hungry, they'll eat anything. So let's go find some more hungry fish. We got about maybe an hour and 10 minutes now before the sun goes down. A good trench right here, but it's only about 100 yards away from Calico Heaven over there. And I have a feeling maybe I should at least try it though. I get a calico, we're going down that way. But if we go down that way, we're gonna have to go another 100 yards because we have to go past all this shallow water here that I was just talking about. But it looks like on the other side of that break right there, if it's nice and sandy, you look at these cliffs here and you can tell where the sand came from, right? So I'm thinking there's a lot of sand down there, hoping. Nobody likes getting snags, but we'll find out. So let's throw it in here once, and we pull up a calico and we're moving down because we only got about an hour left now. You know, it's kind of funny that here I am, a fisherman, and I'm trying to get away from a school of fish. Go figure, huh? But yes, we are trying to get away from the school of calico and maybe catch something else. Maybe we could get some barred perch down here, some red tail. Like I was mentioning, rubber lip. I haven't seen a rubber lip in I don't know how long. It's been a long time. There we go. And it's going right out there. Right over there in the shallow area that I've been talking about, there's a seal cruising the surf. And wherever that guy ends up staying, that's where there's probably a lot of fish. But, you know, I don't want to bug him, though. I don't want to accidentally stick a hook in that guy there. So, there he is. Right there in front of the wave. Going down for something. Well, let's throw it a couple more times here and then move down. A couple of bites right here in this little trench here. Big size sand crabs right off the top there, right off the top. Put some new bait on there. Very south side of Martin's Beach. Might be able to go around another, there might be another little cove over there, it's hard to say. But we sure ain't going there today. This day's just about done. We're gonna throw it in one more time and see what we can get. We're back in Half Moon Bay. We're headed to Pillar Point Harbor. They have a really nice fish cleaning table there. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to fillet these fish tonight. I think I just want to relax tonight. But what I'm going to do is go to the cleaning table at Pillar Point Harbor. Right there where they pull the boats out of the water, there's a really nice cleaning table there. And I'm going to chop the heads off and pull the guts out of these guys. That way they won't stink up the refrigerator. That's always what goes bad and causes the fish to go bad, is leaving the guts in them. Get those guts out of them, and I can fillet them tomorrow night and they'll be just fine. So that's where we're headed right now. Well, that was a heck of a day. Hit the limit on calicos. I do believe that's the first time. I've hit the limit on striped. I've hit the limit on barred perch. I've hit the limit on silver, walleye. But that's the first time that I've hit the limit on calico. 10 calico. It'll probably be good there tomorrow too, but by the time this video hits, I'm pretty sure that school of calico is going to be moved out of there. I think Monday got some big waves coming. That's going to scare them out of there. These fish are real vagabonds. They don't stay in one place. The ocean is their home. And they go all over the place.